Steve Summers and Eric Scopel for educ.com. We just finished the media availability for men's basketball with Coach Dana Altman. What did the coach have to say?
Well, obviously coming off 3 losses now, this is a team that had won their first 13 games. I think it's been a bit of a shell shock for some of the guys. I mean, the mood from those guys today was a little different than it had been in past weeks. I mean, obviously they know this weekend's game at Oregon State, really a make-or-break game. They said that as much in the Stanford Post game. This is an important time in the season here, and really you've got to regroup, and I think it comes down to defense, and it comes down to defending the big guys and scoring down low, and Oregon State poses a problem there. They've got some good post players. It's going to be a challenge.
Well, for the last 3 games, they've come up against some of the top big men in the conference, and those 3 guys are probably guys destined for the NBA.
Well, and we were just talking about this beforehand, and I think matchup problems have been key things here. I mean, Oregon, we talked about it all year, does not have a rim protector. They don't have a guy down low that's going to block shots, going to clog up the paint, going to grab rebounds. They don't have that. And they worked on that in practice, it sounded like yesterday. Did what they call a tough man drill. It sounds like a lot of physicality, kind of no whistles, let them go at it, try to score. That's something they need to work on because they went up against the likes of Josh Scott and Dwight Powell and Richard Solomon for California, and they struggled. Those guys were able to kind of have their way with them down low, and it's really going to be a challenge this week against Devon Collier, Angus Brandt, and Eric Moreland for Oregon State, 3 guys who have frankly been 3 of the better big guys in the conference. So it's going to be another challenge, and fortunately they have a week to work at it. But that's something kind of to follow this weekend is how they defend the big guys and how they're able to score in the paint, because that's been 2 primary weaknesses recently.
Well, last week we remember that Dominic Artis had a chance to win that game in the last moments with that driving lay-in that went off, and you had to think that because of the big man that had been really dominating underneath, that bothered him. And I asked Coach about the confidence factor. Coach wasn't so concerned about it, though.
Yeah, you have to remember that they've won 13 games before, and they lost 3 in a row. But I think, like I said, they're shell-shocked. They're surprised that this is where they are. They started out, they're a top 10 team. Now they've lost 3 in a row, and they go on the road for 3 games. If they lose their next 3 games, this season's really a disappointment. It kind of maybe unravels. So for them, it's regaining that confidence. It's remembering, hey, we were a team that had won 13 to start this season, and it all starts on Sunday.
Well, that's Oregon State again against Oregon and the Civil War. I'm going to switch gears. Yesterday you were at the media conference with Don Pelham when he was formally announced as the new defensive coordinator. What were your impressions?
Well, I thought he won the press conference, and that's not always easy to do. Obviously, it was 30 minutes long, so there were a lot of questions asked, and I think he answered them properly. And I know a lot of fans. He wasn't their first choice, and really for some of them, he really wasn't even on the radar. There were a lot of reports of outside hires, maybe John Neal being promoted, but I think Don will do a good job, and I think he showed why, because he's a great communicator and he's a great teacher, and it sounds like he's got a good vision for the defense. Not going to make drastic changes, but just to simplify things for the players, especially the linebackers, so they can make quicker reads, and he talks about that quite a bit yesterday at the press conference.
Now, in the podcast that you and Robbie have every week, you mentioned that you know Don personally and have known him for several years.
Well, I should say I know him a lot well personally. My family knows him pretty well. My parents are on the church council with him at Eastside Faith Center over here. So, and so from a personal perspective, you're excited for him, but you're also concerned just about the implications of the added pressure of being promoted from linebackers coach, which frankly doesn't get a lot of press, to a defensive coordinator like Nick Aliotti, who, oftentimes if they lose a football game, it's on Aliotti, even maybe it's not. So, for Don, that's a step up for sure. And from a personal level, you're kind of concerned about that.
Well, Don Pelham has spent over 20 years here at Oregon. He is a very intelligent guy. Yeah. He's working on his Ph.D. As the official media guide suggests that he's done work in that direction. And it's, you just never know about a guy, what he'll do in a position until he actually takes that position.
Yeah, and that's what he said. I think one of the major concerns for Don from the fan base when they heard about the hire was he has never been a defensive coordinator before. He's a lifelong, linebacker coach, defensive line coach. But you have to remember that he's also coached underneath 5 defensive coordinators. He's been around the program. He said, it's just a title. I've been doing a lot of the same things. He's been doing a lot of the game planning. He's been doing a lot of the individual work that he's going to be doing now. It's just a name raise and obviously some other added responsibilities, but he's really excited for the challenge. You could tell yesterday at the press conference.
Well, one add by subtraction, I guess, is that John Neal has decided that he will not pursue the UAB job, and that's got to be a confidence booster for that Oregon defensive coaching staff.
Well, and at this late conjuncture in the recruiting cycle, it would have been potentially really dangerous just because of some of the recruits that he's so instrumental bringing in. You talk about Arian Springs, Michelle McGraw. If he were to have left, that might have put them in a tough situation with Oregon. Obviously, some really high-quality defensive backs. And then you think about Ifo Ekpeolumu, who one of the primary reasons for him staying, he said, was because of John Neal. So obviously you're excited he comes back. He's done a tremendous job with the defensive backs, which has been one of the strengths in the defense for years now. To have him back, to not lose those recruiting connections, it's all good for the Ducks defensive backs.
Well, I want to give a plug to the podcast. For those who have not been following the podcast, you get about as much information as you can possibly imagine in 30 to 45 minutes from with Eric and Robbie Boydston. So look for that. It comes out every week. So and Eric, good job on that as always. So anyway, for Eric Skopil, this is Steve Summers with educ.com.